Welcome to United Gamers Authority. I'm Shadehunter, and today we're going to be going over all things Gladiator in 7 Days to Die. Let's get to it. Alright, you may be asking yourself, Gladiator? What on earth is he talking about? 7 Days to Die is not anything to do with gladiatorial combat. Well, I beg to differ. There has been a recent interest in creating arenas for the sole purpose of putting people against people or people against zombies. Generally speaking, there will be an admin that spawns in certain things, and the people have to fight it. Now, in a recent stream that I was part of, I didn't record it, but you can find it on Evil Stalker's site, or I believe He Who Is Seth has also put up a copy of it. I was part of a arena combat, and it went fairly well. However, there might be a little bit of a change that's coming on, because I found something in the kit here of all of the items in the game called a Loadout. Now, you don't see it here, but if you click this button, they all appear. It is Loadout Tier 1, Tier 2, Tier 3, Tier 4, and Tier 5. Now, this makes things a lot easier. You can give your victims a certain loadout, and they have to use only what they get. Or maybe a couple of different loadouts. In this box, we have what I opened up was Tier 1, which starts with basic stuff that you can create in the beginning of the game. In Tier 2, we opened it up and we got a little bit more, and a little bit higher level stuff. See? Tier 2. In Tier 3, we got a little bit higher stuff. I think we both opened one. Myself and Phantom opened one, so this might be 2, but we will be opening some more in a minute. Then you have Tier 4, a little bit higher end stuff, a little bit heavier duty stuff. Then you have Tier 5, which is even, basically it's all the end game stuff that you would get in the game. So what does this mean? This means that during certain styles of play, certain events, which I'm considering, you can make sure that everybody has only what you give them. And if you're wondering how you empty a player's inventory to make sure that they're honest, if you think that the players are not being honest, you can go into here, type GG, and get all of your preferences. Then you scroll up and make sure that your drop on death is set to on. So if they die, they drop everything. There's a few ways you can do this in the settings of the game. You can either do it before you start, or you can be on a server and go into the server preferences and change it. There are a few ways you can change it while in game. I'm not sure how well that will work, because I haven't tried it. But you can always try, because there is, if you type in help, you go up to set game preference, or SG, you can set a game preference, and then you can type it out. And then you can set what the value you want it to be. But let's go ahead and open these up that I got and see what the difference is between what's in here. So we want to open this. And it looks like it's pretty standard stuff. Looks like the value of the items that people get will be completely randomized. And the amount of arrows they get will be randomized. But it looks like the items themselves are pretty standard. It looks like this one actually gave 5 of the regular bandages and 1 of the first aid bandage. So let's go ahead and go to Tier 2. Open. Yeah, it gives quite a bit of stuff. So, yeah, that's interesting. So you'll be getting a lot more stuff in this tier, and you notice some things are stacking. You even get clothing, better clothing and stuff on this one. In Tier 3, open up. Yep, definitely getting a large variety of items there. So we'll just go ahead and dump all this in here, and you can see what all the options are that people will get. You could even have it set to where if you have 5 people in the arena or something, you just give them 1 set of Tier 3, and then they get to share what weapons each other gets. So that would be very interesting. Now, you also have to consider you don't want to give a group of people Tier 1 stuff and then say, oh, here's a bunch of demolishers to kill. That just, there's no point. Have to at least be somewhat real. Then you go over here, and we're going to check out what Tier 4 does. Oh, nice. Again, quite a bit of cool items, about equal to what's there. Again, different levels. So let's go ahead and dump all this stuff in there. Yes, I could use the buttons at the top, but I didn't want this one to go in there. So that's only opening 2 items. So you could get quite a few different things. The only downside is if they get this and only 10 rounds of the 7.62. That could be potentially not useful. But hey, it'd make things interesting. So then we get down here to the final tier. We're going to open this one up. Yep. Pretty standard stuff here for endgame. And it looks like quality, again, is completely random. So we'll just go ahead and dump everything over there. But that's pretty much it for the gladiatorial loadouts that you can actually set up for your players. Another option for this would be to set if you go into the settings of the game and the preferences, let's see here. I believe it's loot respawn days. On this one I have it set to 30, but if you put that as 0, you can actually have a very interesting situation to where you can have it more of an event run where people have to survive through the game, and you put your own boxes in places with different loadouts in there that they have to find. Yes, they'll still be able to loot the game, but in the end, nothing respawns. So after a while, they will be completely dependent on what the admin decides to leave them. Another option is if you go into the help thing here, if I can learn how to spell properly and not fat finger it, you can actually spawn in supply crates. You could have it set to where, everybody could either party up and become allies, or have different teams. Because if you have different teams, then you could do, let's see here, spawn supply crate. And that will instantly spawn a supply crate where you are, above where you are. And as we all know, these are completely random. And it's generally just the first line of things, which could be very interesting. And then you could just, well, obviously not look in it because then it does this, but you could leave it there and whoever gets it first gets the items. Let's see. There's so many different options that you can do in the gladiatorial type competition. You could completely turn off the hordes and only have it to where they have to live through the admin. Because you can also, let's see here, where's the spawn? It is right. You can spawn Wandering Horde. Spawning Wandering Horde. Find target, wait 12 hours. Okay. Didn't actually spawn the horde in. That is very weird. I normally have it pop up instantly where it'll spawn the Wandering Horde. You can also spawn Screamers. Which is actually, the Screamers are actually called Scouts, which is interesting. You can go to near their base and just, or in a centralized area. Where is it at? Here it's called Screamer, but in the list it's called the Scout. I'll show you. You spawn in the Screamers, and here in a minute they're going to see me. Yeah, see, that could be very interesting. Or, if you don't want them all screaming as soon as they see you, apparently they didn't spawn anything in, you can I spelled it wrong. Oh, spawn scouts with an S. Okay. And then wait for somebody to run into it. You could do so many different things. I don't know where she spawned in at. But it is what it is. So, oh, there she is. She's way over there. It's very interesting on what you can do to pull off a very interesting event that requires your players or contestants in this situation to really think. They can either band together and become allies, or they can compete with each other for resources. There are so many different things that you can do. The only limit is the limit of your creativity. I hope this series has been fun. If there is a request on what you want for me to go over, please put it in the comments and I will see about going over it. I'm going to be moving to a new series of item information for all players, not just admins. It's going to be going over all the mods, all the weapons, how they're spawned, what they spawn as, because there's differences. You could have 244s but have totally different stats. It's very interesting, but more on that later. And many other tips and tricks for the beginning player. It will also include probably a little small series on best start for beginners going from creating the map to learning how to play the game. So thank you all for watching. I do hope you enjoyed this series. I've enjoyed making it. I love this game. Then again, I love all survival games. If you enjoyed the content, please hit that like button. And if you want to see more, hit that subscribe button and the bell icon to get notifications of more guides to come. I'll see you on the flip side. Later.